Ladies and gentlemen, fresh from our tour of the Benelux regions, the Ayatollah of rock and roller, the incarnation of self-deprecation, Victor Hope!
Vickers. I am now Victor Pope.
Originally, I'm from sort of the Teesside area, Middlesbrough area, a little village called Mask. But I spent most of my formative years in Kendal in the Leith district from about the age of 7 or 8 or something. I got a ukulele for, I think it was my 10th birthday, and I played that. I wrote my first tune on the ukulele that I got, called I Want to See You.
Hello, I'm Anne. I'm Stephen's mother.
Hello. Interested to know about his sort of musical, when he first got into music and how you nurtured it, if you did.
When he was younger, I mean, both of them really responded to music. I noticed that when they were very, very young, they always jigged about with music.
Yeah.
If there was any music on, they were both very responsive to it. But in terms of actual getting into it seriously, I mean, he liked it was more the stage side of things at first. He was in the brewery arts, he was in the youth theatre and stuff like that, so he liked the performance side of it.
Not every mother in the world can say their two sons both turned into very talented singer-songwriters. How do you sleep at night? You know what I mean?
I don't know, because I'm a scientist, logic, all of that stuff. I don't know where I do know from our family history where the creativity comes from.
Where's that?
Because my grandfather, my paternal grandfather, used to sing in pubs. He was an entertainer. My dad's brother was. My dad, who was never musically trained, if you gave him any instrument, even their little toy guitars, he could get a tune out of it.
Right.
So there was definitely music.
It's in the blood.
I remember it being part of our upbringing. We used to all have a sing-song at New Year with all our cousins. We all used to have to do our song for everybody and so on. So yes, there is music in the family.
She turned her face to the bewitched frog. It's candlelight. It's candlelight.
Hello, I'm Paul Vickers. You may know me from Dawn of the Replicants, Paul Vickers and the Leg, or Twanky, or you may not know me, which is also highly likely. But I'm also the brother of Stephen Vickers, who goes by the name of Victor Pope, and he's big in Leith.
What was it like being Steve's brother growing up?
Well, he was sort of the young one who was expected to go into banking, so a lot of emphasis was put on him to sort of achieve, because I was diagnosed as being quite badly dyslexic. So I think Stephen was under a lot of pressure to get a proper job and start working in a bank, which he wasn't really suited to, really. He was very into his Commodore 64 and he used to play those old games where you were in a racing car, but it would take he was playing it for 6 days constantly without seeing another car. And he used to listen to John Peel. He started listening to John Peel and got into more alternative bands, and started writing songs. The first song I remember was something about running through the fields like love-struck lunatics, and it was like, you're just on vets, and it was really choppy, like a sort of Jonathan Richman kind of thing. And he's always had that tendency to do kind of new wavy kind of songs.
To this day, Lou Reed is probably one of my biggest influences.
because of the way he sort of writes really minimal but really beautiful and honest sort of songs with really gritty, fierce kind of lyrics. And there was the White Elephant as well, which is just around the corner here, where we used to buy a lot of our vinyl. We used to have some quite obscure stuff. I remember picking up some Robin Hitchcock there one time, and the Only Ones album was in there as well.
Suzanne Ball is beautiful, Suzanne Ball is beautiful, Suzanne Ball is beautiful, and you are beautiful too.
What are your thoughts on the Victor Pope band?
They're a good outfit, you know. I think Stephen's really happy because he's finally found a group of people who want to be in a band with him. Which has taken a lifetime to achieve. No, he was in bands before. He was in the Careful Movers, but it was quite a sporadic activity for those guys. It was a lineup that was always changing. There was Jonesy, who used to keep in the loft, and Daniel, who was, you know, very eccentric himself. So they had a sporadic output, but they were good. You know, they were good.
Right, okay, we're now at the sort of, this is where it all began, this is where the magic began, Sunset Road. It's the house that we lived in for the longest when we were in Kendal. And we used to practice up in the attic, right up there, and get complaints from this lady here quite frequently from everyone around. We used to, get up to all kinds of mischief here. We used to have parties, and I remember one particular night we nicked Mum's car that was parked in the drive there and decided to drive it to the all-night garage. We were a little bit the worse for wear. We got to the all-night garage, got some fags, and then drove it all the way back. Mum never found out, although I suspect if she sees this film she might find out.
So Anne, where does Steve's religious motif come from?
Well, I mean, they were both baptised Catholics, but I wasn't really a practising Catholic. It was just sort of hedging your bets, I suppose. And he at school, but they both went to Catholic school. Right. And so it was probably that influence at school more than your influence at home. But his grandma was Catholic. Right. But not, as I say, it was never a really heavy-duty Catholic.
Right. So Steve was never deferential to the Pope or anything as a person? Not
really. You wanted to get confirmed. You made a choice to get confirmed when you were 11. You went to his first communion, and you actually elected to get confirmed, didn't you? Can you remember that when you were in Kendal?
Yeah. Well, I used to go to Christian Union to sort of...
did you? And you were in the...
Well, it started off, I just used to wind them up by asking them all the awkward questions and stuff, and I got a kick out of that, but then it sort of got addictive, and then they ended up getting the upper hand, maybe. You know, Christians are smarter than you think. So.
Yeah.
His songs are like a diary, I always think. He likes... It's more true to life. My stuff is kind of more fantasy based, I suppose, and it's a bit more psychedelic. But Stephen is more conversational, diary sort of form of writing. Really, that's one of the key differences between us. That, and I'm just a little bit more refined.
Hello.
We are the
Victor Pope
band, and we like to say
hello, everyone.
Because we are the
Victor
Best
band,
and Pope,
and we'd like to say
and
hiya.
Hello, Wes.
Hi, how you doing?
So, what do you think about the Victor Pope band?
The Beach Pope?
No, the Victor Pope band.
Victor Pope band?
Yeah.
They're absolutely brilliant, man. You can't beat them.
Yeah.
That atmosphere, great songs, lyrics.
Let's get back in then and see it. Nice for your chats. What is the driving force behind the band?
No, Mr. Demo Editor Esquire, it's quite nice of you to ask. Not usually people don't ask me to in interviews to answer these questions, but I can maybe illustrate it by thinking back to when I first met Steve Vickers, the Victor Plug himself. He was playing a gig 6.5 years ago now, and I admired him playing very much. At the back of it, I was a little bit cheeky on first meeting, and he shot me down in flames in no uncertain terms. I thought, this is a fellow with spirit here. We became pals.
I like his balls.
I liked him. And he's a prolific writer of like the strangest, funniest and heart-touching songs. And I had a chance to drum with him, so I did for years.
Barnsley College was like my escape from Kendal. Kendal was a very depressing town to live in. There wasn't really a scene of any sort going on there. It was quite a small-minded, pretentious little town. So Barnsley was my escape. Admittedly, it's kind of not the most amazing town, but it seemed like the great metropolis when I first went there. And because I was at a music college, I was surrounded by fellow musicians. So it was the first time I could, get around some genuinely talented people. Not that people in Kendal weren't talented, but these guys were, just a little better, and it was the variety as well. I could work with saxophonists, I could work with steel drummers, I could work with all kinds of different instrumentalists of a much higher standard.
Yeah, what was Steve like at Barnsley? Can you remember?
Yeah, Steve wrote a song about playing pool and potting the black from a long way back, and he did a bit of breakdancing in front of the teachers, and I don't think they were very impressed with Stephen.
The work I did really well. I think I got an A for that particular performance. So
okay,
yeah. So I think they're more impressed than you think. Well, I was in a band with you for a bit, wasn't I?
Yeah, we did. What was it? It was called Victor.
No, Vatican City Dub.
Oh yeah, Vatican City Dub. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good band. I couldn't really play anything at the time, so I was just messing around with the turntable.
Yeah, you were doing the DJing. Yeah.
Well, Steve and I met back in Barnsley College in 1996, I think, and eventually went on to become housemates for, I think, 3 years of that, 97 to maybe 2000. He was a very, very passionate musician, and wasn't worried too much about technique or theory or any of the standard musical things. He was really all about the passion and the message behind the music, about getting it out there and performing.
So, Nick, how did Steve develop over those 4 years because what did you get? Did he pass?
Yeah. I got a 2-2 with Desmond.
So did you see him change as a person and a musician? What do you think?
Well, yeah, I'd say when we first started college with loads of amazing musicians, and me and Steve, particularly me, I couldn't really play a great deal, and Steve was really quite good at guitar, and to be honest, out of all the people that were quite unlikely to go anywhere, that was me and Steve, I suppose.
I had a couple of mental breakdowns, ended up in Leeds where the sound sort of finally formulated, because I gave up music for a couple of years during a mental breakdown, but then I came back to it and moved up to Leeds, and that was when I got my studio back together. I mean, I was recording in Barnsley, but I got a new studio, and that was when the Victor Pope sound really started to come together.
Well, I'm a rebel with no attitude, no place to go.
I came to Scotland because a friend of mine had offered me a place in a band. He said, we've got this band together and you're the missing piece. Well, they went for a number of incarnations. Initially they were called the Cardinals of Sin, but then the bassist returned from India and decided we had to be called Saraswati, or otherwise he was going to leave the band. So we became Saraswati. And we made sort of, it was always a bit of a tension because the bassist I split the songwriting credits with the bassist, and whereas my songs were sort of Lou Reedy, punky sort of comedy songs, the bassist tend to write more Manchester psychedelic songs, so it was a bit of a dichotomy, and I don't know whether the two sides ever quite gelled, and there was always a bit of competition between the two. But it was good. It was good fun. I mean, we did quite a lot of gigs and festivals and stuff. It was kind of psychedelic rock kind of band, I suppose, is the best way of summing them up, with punky elements.
Frankenstein's monster wants a bride. Frankenstein's monster wants a bride. Frankenstein's monster wants a bride whose limbs are bent, whose brain is fried. Nobody knows what they're running from. His eyes are pale, his nose is wrong. He seems to be freakishly strong, cause he's been playing the one-armed bandit for far too long. Frankenstein's monster wants a bride. Frankenstein's monster wants a bride. Frankenstein's monster wants a bride whose limbs are bent, whose brain is fried. He spent too long in the ice and snow with his overactive libido. Feels like his balls.
The Victor Pope band began with basically me and the bassist from the previous band. He eventually did. I wanted to be in a band where we played all our own tunes, because I'd be playing in a previous band, Ginger and the Tramp, where we'd be doing all my tunes. And so I wanted to do a band like that. And the bassist from the previous band, who I used to share songwriting credits, decided that was a good idea. So he was in a band called The Woods, which kind of just split up. So he took the drummer from The Woods, and then we managed to get Roy, who was from a band called Sabai. And he really liked my songs, so he wanted to join the band, so we got him in. And so that was the initial lineup, and it was just basically me wanting to do my own songs and finding like-minded people who wanted to do it, and these three bands that were kind of splitting up at the time that sort of collaborated and became the Victor Pope band.
I think that I am so great, 'cause I have my feelings so down. Everybody else also see maybe I'm a genius, and now make it big and last, and I just remind myself this is me we're talking about here.
Always a pleasure.
Victor Pope is love.
Victor Pope is love.
You begin this.
Changed the lineup a few years ago because Well, the tensions finally emerged between the bassist and me that were always there in Saraswati. The fact that we had different musical ideas. He wanted to move it in a more Manchestery psychedelic direction, whereas I wanted to move more in a sort of punky, sort of lo-fi, quirky sort of direction. So that tension was always there. And I wanted to find a bassist that was more suited. And I'd been playing in another band with a guy called Graeme who was initially playing guitar, but I thought the style of guitar he played I thought would be well suited to a bass. So we got him in on bass, and he had a much more punky ethic. One of his favourite bands are The Clash. He pretty much only likes The Clash and Bob Dylan, but The Clash are one of his big bands, and Paul Cinnamon, one of his favourite bassists. And I thought that'd work really well with the sort of sound I wanted to get.
Hello.
Hello.
Who are you?
I'm Graham Mackay.
What's your role in the band?
My role? So I play bass in Victor Pope band, one half of the Victor Pope rhythms section.
Right, okay. So what's it like playing with Steve?
It's good. I think the term the kids use nowadays is #epic or #scenes.
Yep. Hello, Jess. How's it going?
Good.
How's sunny London? Yeah, good, not too bad.
How did you get involved with the Victor Pope band?
I went to lots of parties and I'd seen the band and I just pestered Steve until he let me be in the band.
Oh, that easy?
Yeah, I'm very fickle.
Hassle, that's how you get into bands.
So what is it about his music that made you tick?
Can you turn that down a bit? He just does really funny, brilliant lyrics, and his songs are really well crafted, and the musicians are really good, and it's a really nice scene, and it's really nice working with the guys as well. It's quite a strict regime, which I quite like.
Donald Trump, are we so different? People give us advice, but neither of us listen. We're both capable of being the next Adolf Hitler, but then again, who isn't?
Okay, shall we do this? Okay, let's do it.
Out, she must know how I feel. Words seem so useless. There's a big black spider running up my spine. There are 3 big crawlies falling out my eyes. Tadpole rays are swimming through my veins. If this is love, I think I'm afraid.
So Steve, why did you originally decide to record this? Was it with recording?
Well, it was largely convenience had a lot to do with it, but also a lot to do with it was the Martina album. I mean, I'd heard what you'd done with Alan Moose when he was, and I liked it. So it had a really live, punchy sound. But it was Martina's album when I heard that. That was what really impressed me. I was like, oh yeah, if we could get, I was impressed by the sounds going on that. So I wanted something to sound like that. And also it was convenience. We were thinking of doing it at this place in the sticks, but it was way out of the way. And we wanted to work with someone new, and we wanted to get someone who we trusted and would make a good sound of it rather than because I'd done a lot of the albums myself. And I'm not really a professional. We wanted this album to have a proper professional job on it. Is that the quickest you ever recorded an album?
Yeah, well, as I say, you guys were very, very rehearsed. So it was, I think we did a few of the tracks in one take. Once it was all set up, it was just there and that was it. So we did the whole thing in 8 hours, I think.
Yeah,
so then a few vocals.
There was always bits afterwards, yeah.
It was a lot of fun, definitely. I think one of my favourite tracks was probably... It's difficult because I've got tracks I like the sound of more, but the lyrics are so important, the humour, and it's kind of dark humour, I suppose, to us. But Me and Donald Trump, I think, was brilliant.
Oh, right, I like
that. It starts off with Me and Donald Trump, are we so different? That's just not what we expected something to go from there.
It's like a humanist take on Donald Trump.
Yeah, it was like, I still, because I've got the CD played in my car regularly. And that was still really ticklish. I think that was absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed that. If there's one thing we could do again, it would probably be the Suicides. Just that incredibly fast vocal you do. And maybe record that in 2 separate tracks. It sounds, and it's so good.
Your girlfriend has just left you. Your friends, they all detest you. You've lost another job. You know there is no God. It's raining cats and dogs outside. Your gran just died. But don't give in to the infinite abyss, cause there's a brand new dance and it goes like this. Do the suicide, 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 do the suicide. Put on something dirty by the Smiths or the Cure, or maybe Leonard Cohen if you want something pure. First think of all the ways that you can kill yourself, then reenact them rhythmically and that should help. Do the noose wrap her up around your neck and pull it up tight. Do the gun, sit that sucker in your mouth, pull the trigger just right. Do the pill, stick a few thousand in your hand, then ram straight down your throat. Do the razor, slash them wrists so good, watch that imaginary blood flow. Do the cliff, do a little jump, then as you fall, flap your hands manically. Do the drown, hold your nose real tight as you drift to the bottom of the sea. Do the TV, throw that sucker in the bath, then do the electrocution. Do the suicide, cause it's the only solution. Do the suicide, do the suicide, do the suicide, do the suicide, do the suicide.
I mean, that's a tongue twister and a half.
Yeah.
It's amazing that you managed to do it in one take at all.
Did I do that in one take?
Yeah, you did that in one take.
Oh, right.
I mean, it wasn't the first take.
Oh, right.
You know, but you did do it all in one take. I thought the video turned out brilliantly for that as well. I thought that was just absolutely fantastic.
Yo, check it. This is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You could be a pot washer, maybe not a doctor, but possibly do laundry at the local hospital. Do your trigonometry, and the sky's your limit. You could work voluntary at a branch of Wakefield. Or if you're not paid, look good on your resume. Be a true believer, one day you'll be a cleaner. A little estimate, destiny or master, money slightly faster. Then you would have benefited, you could work at Quick-Fit. Yeah, you could work at Quick-Fit, imagine that. MOTs, well you wouldn't do that. You'd probably do me
the young at heart. For those who said no to the man to sacrifice everything for their art. Peace! You can be a poor walker, maybe not a doctor, possibly you hungry. As a local hospital, be a trigonometry in the kind of limit. You can walk a country, all about your district. You're not paying nothing on your resume, be a true believer, one day you'll be a cleaner. I'm a little house to me, just to be your master. Money slightly faster than you would have benefited. You could work it quick bit. Yeah, you could work it quick bit. Quick bit. Motherfucking quick bit.
And hello, Lisa.
Hello, Davo.
How you doing? Where are you at the moment?
I'm in New Zealand.
New Zealand. Okay. I heard you're a fan of the Victor Pope band. Is that true?
I'm a big fan of the Victor Pope band.
Why is that?
Because they're brilliant. Victor Pope is love.
Victor Pope is love. So when did you first feel like you were part of the cult?
Oh, at least 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. And have you followed their progress ever since?
Most definitely.
Yeah, as you have most gigs. So will you be back in time from New Zealand for the album launch?
No, unfortunately I won't be. I won't be back till after.
Oh, that's a shame. Do you have any words for the band in your absence?
Oh, I don't know. They don't need luck. They're going to knock it dead. It's like a foregone conclusion. I just hope somebody's going to video it so I can have a look at it when I get back.
I think there's about 8 people videoing it, to say the truth.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go! I'm just smart enough to know where I'm going. I'm just happy enough to have some fun. If ignorance is bliss, I want some. If you're handing out the body,
What's he like to live with?
Doesn't get up till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon unless he's working early, like. But you know, he sounds we got really well.
Yeah, does he? Is he like creative cauldron in his house? Is he always writing songs? What's he like?
Right tight.
What do you think of the Victor Pope band?
I love them. I've been a big fan for years. Like, I go to all their gigs.
Yeah. What makes it tick? What is it about the music that makes it tick?
The energy, the satire, and the lyrics.
I wanna do the school in my underwear. I know that sounds disgusting, but I just don't care. I wanna be the one that counts anywhere. Put your hands up in the air. I don't wanna go up some more. I don't wanna go over this wall. I don't wanna rhyme no poetry. I wanna song like the
To sum up, Victor Pope band in one sentence.
Victor Pope band, excellent, awesome, loving, caring, and fucking mental.
Do you enjoy the Victor Pope band?
I love the Victor Pope.
Why?
Victor Pope is love.
Is that it?
I love the Victors.
All right. What do you enjoy musically about them?
Just the madcap insanity of it all. It appeals, I think, to the inner child in all of us.
Just 1, on. From 10-story high to about 3 years tall. But I still don't allow it to make my heart cold. 'Cause I know the truth since I was 5 years old. But it's nice to be nice.
Are you a fan of the Victor Pope Band?
Of course I am.
Can you tell us why?
Oh, they're just zany, funny, loving, make you feel good,
Right.
make you feel happy.
Oh.
That's what life's all about, isn't it?
It's, it's like the new Grateful Dead, isn't it? In a way.
Yeah!
Now all you religions are fighting for men. Turn out you're all essentially the same. There's no temple places going down. But then now it's smiling the narrow. 'Cause it's nice and it's good to be good. You can say what you want, but I won't think you should. 'Cause my habit and Jesus, they both are the same. And it's nice to be nice at the end of the day.
So why are they so good, the Victor Pope Band? What?
I particularly like the second song when they swear a lot and there's a little bit of like a down.
Oh right, yeah, okay. Indescribable.
Magnificent.
Awesome.
Odd.
Amazing.
Too many adjectives on that.
Yeah, and not all beginning with A.
You can say what you want, but I don't think you should. 'Cause my habit and Jesus, they both are the same. And it's nice to be nice at the end of the day. But it's mad to be mad, and it's bad to be bad. So be glad that you're glad, and not sad to be sad. And oh, word to the lies, 'cause the lies to the lies. Advise you surmise, and it's nice. Thank you very much to all of you for coming. Thank you very much to Mira, who designed the wonderful album artwork and is doing a lot of good shit for us at the moment. Thank you very much to the soundman Scott. Thank you very much to the bar staff. Thank you very much to the Jeebers. And thank you very much for my lovely but one, two, one, two, three, tonight. And it's good. Thank you very much. Well done. The excellent people. Bow down before Frankie. Frankie.
So what is the what are your thoughts on the Victor Pope Band?
You know, last night's performance was absolutely fantastic. It was the essence of a band taking their sound to a new level. Just the whole performance aspect, it blew me away.
Right.
You know, it was really, yeah, really touched me on a really deep level.
That's a wrap.